the Fantasy Six-Pack Hour with your hosts, Joe Bob and AJ Applegarth.
Touchdown! All right. Welcome to the Fantasy Six-Pack Hour. My name is Joe Bond, founder of FantasySixPack.net. With me, as usual, Mr. AJ Applegarth. What's up, man? Really? What is happening?
There we go.
Oh my gosh!
I was like, I'm muted somewhere. Which one is it? It's like,
oh my gosh!
Nope, not that one. It's
been that kind of night already, folks.
Well, what's going on? In case you haven't been paying attention to baseball, is the Phillies are up 2-1 on the Butthole Braves.
I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah,
it's a football show.
I bet you don't. I
don't care at all.
Well, some of us
because I hate Philly sports. So yeah, no.
Sound like the soft Brave fans.
You no. I just despise Philly sports.
Well,
always have, always will.
Your loss.
Oh well. Anyway, let's go Braves. Come on, pull this out. By the way, on that note, just to say this. And this isn't just like MLB needs to redo the playoff format. The fact that they have these teams sitting for a fucking week. Baseball players are a creature of habit. They get in these modes, they get in flows, right? You can't have one team sitting for a week and then the other team playing, bam, 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 coming right in, being like, we ready to go. The other team's like, oh yeah, we good. We ready to warm up.
Yeah.
I mean, the Dodgers lost to the Diamondbacks. The Orioles, who have been swept in a series in forever, got swept in a series. The only team that is the higher seed right now that is actually winning is Houston because they got the butthole Twins, who shouldn't have even been in the playoffs, if you ask me. Like, let's be real. Like, and by the way, the fact that the Orioles had to play either Texas or Tampa is completely wrong. You need to reseed the playoffs and give the upper seed the better matchup. Kind of like what football does.
So in that, then it would have been Arizona, Atlanta, and Arizona would have smoked Atlanta in 3 games.
Don't think that.
I do.
But it doesn't matter. Like, still, but the fact of the matter is just like it's just horrible the way that this is happening.
I don't disagree that the seeding is jacked.
The seeding is jacked, and the fact that they have these these series leading up to, but I don't know. I don't like the way that baseball has redone the playoffs. I don't even really like the fact that they've added all these extra teams to the playoffs, but I mean, these extra teams now are like the ones winning, and it's because again, they're kind of coming off hot streaks. They're like, oh, they're just rolling through, and congrats to them. But I don't know. This seems kind of
silly. Last year was a freaking.
Oh, I know. I'm aware, but again, it's the same kind of deal. So,
and they made the World
anyway.
So, all right,
I digress.
Move it
Yeah,
come on. I mean, this is a football show, man. What are you doing? What are you talking about here?
I don't know.
Yeah, don't make me start speaking from the sky.
I mean, you're gonna do that anyways.
All right, let's get into this. So we do have football to talk about. It is week 6, unbelievably week 6. By the way, this has flown by. So we are watching the Chiefs and the Broncos right now, 13-0 at halftime. Of course, if you're here, please hit that subscribe button, hit that watch button. We appreciate it. And, it helps us out a lot. And of course, our memberships are still open at Fantasy Six-Pack. Go over to fantasysixpack.net/plans. Jump over there and get our award-winning rankings. I'm in the top 10 right now. We've got Nick in the top 25. We've got our IDP guys are crushing it right now. We got one who is about to get entered back into the ECR. not back in, but entered into the ECR, and he'll be number 1. We've got somebody at number 10, and I believe we have somebody like just outside the top 10, like right there. So just crushing it right now. And then, of course, if with all of that, you get our DFS and our betting projections, you get our advice, you get our custom advice on Discord as well. So it's awesome. Everybody that's over there on Discord right now is loving it. So yeah, Steve, there you go, Steve Hunt. Yeah, there you go. Shout out to Steve at number 1. He knows. All right. But yeah, without further ado, though, let's bring in our guest of the week, and it is Mr. Davis Peng. What's going on, man?
Well, what's up, guys? Just another day of boring Thursday night football. So I decided to hop on. I have nothing else better. No, I'm just kidding. No,
I mean, you're probably right.
Understandable.
Welcome.
Welcome.
So,
and I love your comment about the play the baseball intro. That was.
Oh, is that what you're laughing at earlier?
Yeah.
I was like, just play the baseball intro. Screw
it.
I should.
Creator of said.
There we go. Sorry.
Yeah. Pretty good. All right.
Anyway, I had a tweet all written out and then it disappeared on my ass. So I'm now having to rewrite it, or maybe I found it. Just kidding. I just found it. Yeah, all right. Apparently I had 2 Twitters up and didn't realize it. That's me doing too much all at the same time. Anyway, so Davis, we're going to jump through tonight as per usual on this show during the season. We're going to be jumping through some of our rankings via some start-sit scenarios that our producer Mike LaPlante comes up with. And but before we jump into that, though, I think we need to hit on some of these big news topics that have jumped at us this week. And it's been a brutal week for some stud fantasy players this early 2023 season. And start right off here, Justin Jefferson to the IR, at least 4 weeks. We don't know. And then there's all these rumors right now that, they're going to start just sending players off. They're going to start rebuilding, and Kirk Cousins is going to get traded to the Jets. I keep hearing that, and I'm just kind of like, okay. But that being said, without all of that, possibly happening, what's your move with Justin Jefferson if you have him? And let's say you're a team who's kind of, 2-3, maybe 1-4, maybe even 3-2. Like if you're a team who has Justin Jefferson and was kind of riding him to whatever wins you possibly had, what are you doing with Justin Jefferson?
I'm probably crying first thing.
Yeah.
4 weeks is rough. I mean, it's so hard to come back from 4 weeks. Let's talk about that portion, right? I think you have to ship him off, right? If you're anything under 4-1, I think you have to ship, because 3-2, 2-3, 1-4, you're basically on the teeter, right? You barely were winning with him. I just don't know what the offers are right now. I've only seen a few. Mostly guys I see are targeting like Amon-Ra tier or below, CD Lambs. Man, I just know that I would trade. I would get ready to trade if I knew I was a 3-2.
Tell Mike LaPlante that. I was trying to send him Amari Cooper and I forget, Jerome Ford. I didn't. I totally wasn't thinking that they were both on the same team. I just kind of clicked the buttons and was like, "Yeah, move on." And just
you said you said that somebody sent me an offer like that today actually with both those players, and I was like, "Why do I want 2 Browns players without their quarterback? Like, why do I
didn't even think about it? I totally didn't even think about it. I also had totally it flew over my head the fact that Deshaun Watson was still possibly not going to play, but besides the fact that I just. And he was like, "Why? I don't want both Browns." And I was like, "Oh yeah." I mean, I just looked at true value. Like that's all I did. I just looked at value. It was like this guy and this guy. So we'll talk later, Mike. But anyway,
I would rate him above Amari. I think it's around that Amon-Ra, Devonta Smith tier right now. CD Lamb. These guys that are like wide receiver one fringes, I think, for Justin Jefferson.
It's tough, man. I don't know if you're gonna get that for a JJ. Like, that. I mean, I'm probably not. I don't know. I don't know if I would do that. That's a lot, because you've really got to have a strong team to be able to withstand losing a guy like Amon-Ra or somebody like that, and then not having the replacement player for at least 4 weeks, right? You've got to have a stud team, right? So that's tough. So you just got to have the right build to be able to withstand that. And again, if you're a team trying to buy JJ, you probably 5-0, 4-1 type of thing, like you're saying. So AJ, I want to ask you though, on the flip side of this, now who is the big winner in the receiving core right now for the Vikings? Obviously, we got Jordan Addison, KJ Osborn's no slouch. Who's the guy that you think that Kirk will turn to ultimately, the rookie or the veteran?
What about Hawkinson? I mean, in the receiving I know, but I think this potentially helps Hawk because
it does.
He was already getting targets initially, but then he's had a couple of rough weeks. So I think that helps build him back up, first of all. But out of the receiving core, I think it's going to be Osborn, actually. Addison's questionable going into this week, so that doesn't help his case much. Brandon Powell stepped up and played pretty well last week as well. So I think Kurt's still going to sling it around to just whoever's open. Honestly, I don't know if there's going to be one clear-cut benefactor of this injury. At least maybe this week. I think everybody is because it's the Bears. But after this week, as the season goes on and in these next few weeks, really to see what happens. I mean, it could be Osborn in week 7. It could be, Addison in week 8. It could be Powell in week 9. You just don't know what you're getting. It's hard to replace a JJ.
No, of course.
So I think this is an opportunity for Addison. The biggest opportunity available is falling to Addison. But
to your credit, AJ, I will say KJ Osborn did see more targets than Addison last week.
Yeah.
The week that Jefferson went out in the second quarter, it was by 1. It was 8-7. He has been running more routes than Addison all season. Addison's had these like monster plays, right? So his ADOT is incredible, at like almost 13 compared to about 9.5 for KJ Osborn. So, they're different beasts as far as the player and the routes and stuff like that they run. But I don't disagree that KJ Osborn will have, the opportunity. So let's move on here. Next player up that went on the IR, Anthony Richardson. He already missed a week. So look, this was obviously the one big fear that we have with a guy like Anthony Richardson that comes in with, he's going to run a lot, right? And as a young guy who wants to run a lot, he's going to take some hits. And so he took a pretty nasty hit, and he's out for at least, I think they said 4 to 8 weeks is what I'm seeing. So it could be a pretty lengthy stay on the IR. If not, in my opinion, if he's closing on that 8-week span, he's probably done for the rest of the season. They're probably not bringing him back. I wouldn't if I were the Colts to save him. Right. So Gardner Minshew is coming in. AJ, you're pretty familiar with this guy. What do you think this does to the Colts offense now that, of course, we've got Jonathan Taylor back? That's another story. But, as far as the passing game goes, what's the change from Richardson to Minshew and the effect there?
I mean, I don't really see an effect on Pittman. We've already seen that in the games that the Magic Mustache has been in. The kicker, Matt Gay, has had an awesome time with Minshew in there. So that's helpful. But that's not what you're looking for fantasy kickers. I think that this almost speeds up the process for getting JT back involved in this offense. I mean, that whole situation is still just dumbfounding to me. But I mean, Minshew is a good game manager. He's not going to be a flashy name for fantasy. I feel like he's going to be, I want to say like Jared Goff light, because he's going to get some points here and there, and he's going to be able to make some plays, but he's not going to wow you with his output and, overall finishing stat line at the end of the day each week. And I think overall this is going to hurt the Colts. Minshew's been serviceable in the NFL, but again, he's an NFL player, not a fantasy guy. And Nick Castellanos just hit his second home run of the day. So that was fantastic.
Anyway, so Davis, not so much the quarterback. I don't know if I really care about Gardner Minshew for fantasy purposes. I don't know if it's too many do that aren't in super flex leagues, right? But what is the effect on the receivers? I'm kind of seeing it as a little bit of an uptick as far as the receivers go for Michael Pittman. Pittman was doing great with Richardson, but I kind of think like Josh Downs with the big, increase here. We've seen it like the 2 games with Minshew. He's seen a huge target increase so far. So, what's your take on that real quick?
No, I 100% agree. So we know Minshew can actually pass the ball, right? We know that he's he's getting more than 11 completions a game. We're probably going to see that kind of that typical Colts offense we saw last year where they were throwing all short yardages, Pittman with 11 receptions for 62 yards, something really garbagey like that. But from a PPR standpoint, I think those guys really step it up now. I think you get 2 consistent weapons. You get Downs and Pittman, probably low touchdowns, but a lot of just like these dunk offs. We saw this last year with when Minshew was an Eagle. He supported AJ Brown and Devonta Smith in the same games multiple times.
Yep.
So
I agree.
I think you pick up guys like Josh Downs, you pick up guys like Pittman, and when you're hurting, I'm in a league right now where I'm like dying at receiver because we trade away a lot of our depth. And the minute AR went down, I was like, oh, cool. We trade for Pittman and go trade for Pittman and Downs because this is actually an upgrade rather than a downgrade.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree there. So last player, and we gotta rip through this one a little quick. Devon Achane, Achane. I still can't get that one right. It took me so long to figure out Achane, and then I can't figure this one out. So anyway, Achane on the IR. Unfortunate news, obviously. I remember the other one. So we're gonna have to do one more. I'll put it in the private chat. But anyway, we've got obviously Miami's new star-studded running back. Obviously, Raheem Mostert's the big winner out of this. But real quick, both of you, Davis, you start. Do you see any sort of if Jeff Wilson comes back, does he kind of just pick up where Achane sort of left off?
I think he does. Is he as explosive? No. No one's fast as Achane right now. He was out there,
wicked fast.
It doesn't even look real when he's out in the field. So I do think he, takes off where he left off. But I think he's more of a Mostert than it is Achane. We're definitely gonna see a step back though. That run game was the best run game I think the Dolphins have had since Ricky Williams. right?
The Wildcat, baby.
Yeah.
That was the best thing we've had. As a Dolphins fan, I
Phenomenal.
cannot tell you that we've ever had a good, consistent run game up until these last few weeks. So I think we stepped back pretty hard. But when you have a genius head coach, who knows, right? He'll make
Pretty
something
damn
out of
good.
nothing, right? He's done it with the Niners, and he'll probably do it again with the Dolphins and the stuff he did last year. So I'm not too surprised. I think I'm fine if I started them. I would probably give it a week for Wilson though, since he's coming off an IR.
Right. I agree. I mean, he may not even come back this week. Nobody really knows yet. So, AJ, any other thoughts? We got one more player that we forgot to put on the sheet, so maybe we can just ask you about that one instead.
Yeah, that's fine.
So last one, and sorry, AJ, Mike, I knew there was one we forgot. James Conner hit the IR as well,
Yep.
so that's a big blow. We got the Ingram. We got DeMercado, I guess is his last name, who kind of did pretty well last week, shockingly. And it was a big free agent pickup this week. I got him at a couple spots. Actually started him over Javonte Williams in a couple of leagues where I had to make that decision, and that's looking like a really good decision right now. So, what's your thoughts here, AJ? Like, what is the Cardinals have surprised people this year as far as being at least fantasy relevant. They're still not winning games outside of the Cowboys. But I mean, they're definitely putting up fantasy points. Do you think DeMercado or Dr. Mercado? Love it, Jamie. Do you think Dr. Mercado? I love it. I'm just gonna do it. Or Ingram is gonna be the guy, because Ingram wasn't active last week.
Yeah,
so now
and
they're both going to be active.
yeah, I mean, Ingram is still dealing with the neck issue. He practiced limited fashion today. So I think if he can, I mean, they really need to get him healthy and on the field. But they also did just pick up Tony Jones Jr., who New Orleans released. So, maybe he's the benefactor of this. We saw that he had like kind of a blow up game a couple weeks ago, and then fizzled back into nothing. So he's still there. I think they still have Corey Clement maybe on the practice squad. I could be wrong on that, but I'm not worried about him. I think
it's weird though.
Still
Last
going to
week
be
they went into the game
guys.
with 2 active running backs, so they must trust.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hell,
Dr.
New
Mercado
England's done it.
pretty good.
Look how good they've
Mercado,
done.
by the way.
Oh wait. I think of these guys, if they're all healthy.
Chandler, they let Ingram see the field with Mercado on the roster. They need to sell that. Yeah, but I mean, like, you can't let this dude get all the touches and all the reps. Like, that's how running backs die, literally.
I mean,
so they're gonna have to give somebody else the ball in some snaps. But yeah, last week it's weird that they're carrying so few running backs. But I think we should move on here and get into our rankings talk with some start-sit questions. And
whoa, I'm not gonna get to flex my underdog Cardinal shirt. That's what I wore it for today.
Oh, all right,
the underdog Cardinal shirt. This is This is what happened when I drafted so much James Conner. They sent me a shirt. It's
really?
It was part of a giveaway, and I wanted.
So you are crying right now.
I'm actually okay with it. I mean, it's expected. I think on average, James Conner misses like 4 games a year.
Yeah,
this is not a surprise. I think people messaged me and they were like, "Are you reeling right now?" I was like, "From what? The fact that he goes on IR, like that's typical James Conner. He'll come back, he'll play the last 5 games and score 15 in all of them, and we'll all be happy again." But
hopefully
until
you'll be there in those games.
I'll be alive.
Those will matter.
But just a quick point out for Keontae Ingram versus Mercado. Mercado has done more in one game than almost the entire career of Ingram.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I keep seeing people that were like, why are you putting so much money on DeMercado like in Fab? And I'm like, look, I got outbid all season so far. Like, people are going bonkers on their Fab bids. So finally I went a little bonkers and got DeMercado. I'm like, sure, like, whatever. But
Yeah.
I also saw people go like just slightly under me and get Ingram, and I'm like, well, that's okay. Anyway, we're gonna have a trade question here from Ray in a minute, but let's at least get our first QB start sit question out of the way. So, Mike LaPlante, you got the floor.
All right, we like to start it off with the guest here, Davis. So you get the courtesy of going first, and you get to choose between Kirk Cousins at Chicago facing the Bears, or Matt.
There we go. I was waiting for someone to say it. Thank you.
or Matthew Stafford versus the Cardinals in a prime matchup. Actually, honestly, both are pretty good. But who you want?
Stafford. Not even close to me. It's gonna be Stafford. He's got Cooper Kupp, Puka, Higbee, Tutu Atwell, the touchdown machine. It's gonna be fine. I think he could even throw to Kyron.
Even catching balls out of the backfield.
It's not even close. It's gonna be Stafford for me. I think when you're down JJ, not much you can do.
We're going counterclockwise because I agree. So,
yeah,
AJ?
I agree with this one. With JJ being out and it being kind of an unknown, like I said earlier, it could be any one of those guys that ends up, being the benefactor. But if Chicago comes out like they did last week, I mean, Minnesota needs to be wary. So, yeah, I'm going with Stafford this week. I agree.
So are you guys just kind of saying then, for the most part, Kirk Cousins without Justin Jefferson isn't going to be a top 12 type of guy? Because I kind of I look at Stafford as fringe
he could
12.
be top 12, but I've got Stafford
yeah.
right now, like nearing the. I've got him top 10. I mean, it's super close. It's 10 to 12, honestly, for me.
So I was gonna say, like, if this was no Cooper Kupp, they would be really tight. But we just saw what happened when he got cut back. He had two guys over 100 yards each, basically. He missed it a touchdown or two. I think Kirk really slides down about Jettis.
Yeah, I don't necessarily see Kirk Cousins being, unstartable all of a sudden because JJ's not there. He's still going to be a valuable player, but I just think Stafford's going to be the better pick this week. Coming off the loss like they did, I think he's going to come back out and he's going to be hungry. So.
All right, so we got a question in here from Ray. He gave us a little bit more background here, so you guys can read it in the comments. I'm not going to post them up here on the screen, but Barkley and Olave for Swift and Devonta Adams. He's saying he's worried about Barkley and his injury, and of course his team blows. Hashtag suck it, Keith. Where? Yeah, there we go. we got the ticker. Swift's been awesome, but we know the injury history there. Olave hasn't quite beasted out yet. Adams has been up and down. Has had some awesome games. Has had some bleh games, as AJ knows. This was super close to me, man.
I think this is a no-brainer. I think this is Swift and Adams.
Yeah, I was leaning that way, man.
Yeah,
I think if you can get the upside of Adams, Swift has just been a monster for that team right now. Barkley's, I agree with you, Ray. Barkley's offense has not been great. Olave's been okay, but not as good as I was hoping this year. So, yeah, I agree with Davis.
Yeah, I think things that don't exist is Olave targets in the first half. And then, he just doesn't see him. I'm a Michael Thomas truther through and through, but I expected Olave to be competitive. If I was redrafting today, Olave wouldn't be in my top 5 rounds. He's not getting yards and touchdowns. He's getting one or the other, and he's barely getting either.
Yeah. I mean, first 5 rounds might be a little rough for that, but yeah, he would definitely. I mean, he was going back in second round, early third. He'd easily drop to the back end of the fourth for me. And it's funny because Michael Thomas will probably still stay where he is because he's done just about what we all expected him to do.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Thomas has been good, but
good for what he has
there too. So
I also think that shoulder injury to Carr is going to be there all season.
There's apparently another trade. Sorry, it's all mixed in, Gray. There's a lot of stuff here. So if you want to, if you can post that other
Let me do that
trade
one.
again, like the
Barkley for
exact
Swift
trade.
Adams. It is.
Yeah, I'm losing it here. There's a lot of
And thanks for subscribing.
yeah, no, definitely. Got another Jamie, trade away Pollard and Kamara in a revamp Superflex league. I'm 1-4 with the lowest points. I'd be getting Christian Watson at a 2024 mid to late first. Trade away Watson, Pollard and Kamara.
I would choose one of the running backs and maybe
I'm not
receiver.
giving away Pollard right now.
Yeah.
Kamara, I'm fine dealing. I don't know what you're getting, especially in a Superflex league that matters in a mid to late first. Like, you're not probably getting any of the quarterbacks that matter. Christian Watson has done nothing. So, like, as much as I was hoping he was gonna do a lot more since he got back, but I don't pull that trigger on that one.
Yeah, I would hold.
Oh, okay. So here's the other one. So it's someone sent me a trade of me giving away Barkley, Olave, and Jacoby Myers and Zach Moss for Devonta Adams, Stevenson, Madison, and is that Rashad? I'm guessing that's Rashad White.
Yeah, it's most likely
or
Rashad White.
Devonta Adams
Would be my new receiver.
I wouldn't do this. It's way too much.
And
way
White
too much.
Adams would be my new receiver.
But
one with
so he's giving me Barkley, Olave, Jacoby, Zach Moss. I don't care about Zach Moss at this point. Like, I don't think he's gonna keep doing what he's doing. So you get.
I
Adams,
think you
Stevenson.
care. I'm the opposite. I care about Zach Moss. I think he's played well enough, and without Anthony Richardson, I think this offense stays conservative.
Yeah.
And even then, is Zach Moss any better than Madison or Stevenson? Stevenson, who has 2.8 yards per carry this year.
Yeah, no, they're terrible. I get it.
I mean,
this is their dangling Devontae Adams at you, and even Rashad White's been pretty inefficient. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm actually curious because it says Devontae Adams and then it says White
with
Adams. So I'm kind of curious who the other Adams is.
No, he's saying White and Adams would be my new wide receiver.
Oh, White and Adams would. Okay, I get it.
So he's bracketing and say that Adams would be his new wide receiver one. He would have Waddle, Olave, Christian Watson.
Have Olave, though.
No, he's yeah.
Oh, sent me a trade.
No,
giving away Barkley,
Olave,
Myers, and Moss.
Nah, I'm with Davis. I think we passed. So let's move on here. I know there's some other questions that are come in, but we got to move on here. Mike, get the next question out, man. If you can.
All right.
Thank you,
Joe.
Sorry, man. We got bombarded.
It's all right. We'll get back to him. We always get back to the people. But Geno Smith at the Cincinnati Bengals, or are you going with the rookie that had a down week last week, CJ Stroud, against another tough matchup in the Saints?
I'm going Geno. Cincy's defense has not impressed me. So that is where I am going. I think Geno still got weapons, man. You know, I just believe in that. Stroud's still a rookie. He's gonna have these up and downs. He's gonna be a little bit harder to trust, you know. So give me Geno.
AJ, are you gonna bandwagon
Geno
on
or
his
Stroud?
Or piggyback? That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, Geno was dealing with injury issues. He had the buys coming off. I kind of like, yeah, I mean, I like Stroud, but yeah, I think I'm going to give it to Geno. I think since he had their blowout week last week, so they're feeling too good about themselves, this could be a bit of a trap game for them, and they could just sink back down into oblivion of sucking ass.
Well, but even that though, like I actually kind of think the opposite, AJ. I think it could be that, you know, since he's starting to find their stride, right, and so it's going to force Seattle to pass to keep up, right, and so that's what I think we're going to see, to where, you know,
good way to refute it. So yeah, I mean, I can see it both ways.
That's usually how it works.
Yeah. All right, Davis, which one do you
Want to
got?
make it a clean
I'm-
sweep?
I'm going Stroud. I've never been a big Geno guy. He surprised us last year, and I give him
You and
kudos for all of
everybody
that.
else.
Exactly right. Like, and he gets all the kudos, right? Case Keenum, congratulations. Those kind of guys, and he's. But like, I like
Case
Geno
Keenum guys.
enough, and his weapons are good enough. Are great. They're amazing weapons. I bought all the DK Metcalf, but Geno's running less this year. And then top it off,
Yeah.
Kenneth. The minute they get to that 10-yard line, it's just Kenneth Walker. It just
Kenneth
becomes
Walker, yeah.
yeah,
He's
right. Like, so without
crushing it.
touchdowns, without the yardage, do I want Geno? Geno has gone 300 yards twice this year, and then 100 yards the other 2 times. But he's only had one game that's thrown 2 touchdowns, and every other thing else is 1 or less. So the minute they got to the 10-yard line, Kenneth Walker's just piling the ball, and you could get a 250-yard, no rushing guy, and no touchdowns. And I think you lose based on those. But you guys have a good point about the Bengals. If they catch stride and they have to play, sure. But I'm going to go with Stroud. They're the opposite. They're slinging the ball. Dameon Pierce doesn't get touchdowns. So just give me Stroud all day in that regard.
Yeah. All
All
right.
All right.
Running back.
Yes,
Hey.
yep.
That's the great thing about fantasy football, differing points of view. All right, on to the running backs, though. And AJ, you get to start us off here. David Montgomery at the Buccaneers, or Raheem Mostert with the Achane injury versus Carolina Panthers.
I'm going Monty.
Ridiculous.
I mean, I feel like he's proven how worthwhile of a get he's been, especially with Detroit's seemingly unwillingness to really push Gibbs much this year. Swift had an awesome game against Tampa Bay. I understand the Mostert love, especially with Achane out, and Carolina can give up some rushing, so it's tight in a sense, but for me, not really. I mean, I can see why it would be tight, but I'm going Monty all day.
All right, Davis, who you got?
Gotta give me money, man. I love these plotter guys. I've been begging that Montgomery, Dylan, who's another tubby guy, Brian Robinson, the Jordan Masons of the world. I love these guys. They just go up the gut.
Yeah.
So this is one of those Kenneth Walker situations. Hey, they get to the 10, and guess who's there, right? So give me David Montgomery. It's not even close. I think David Montgomery saw 30 touches on his return of injury. I think most
Yeah,
sees
it's
at most 10 to
disgusting.
15.
Like,
Yeah.
kudos to Keith for convincing me to draft him in both the snake and the auction draft at King's Classic. I was like, really? Like, everybody's all in on Gibbs, and I was like, man, I don't know, man. And he was like, dude, he's cheap. Let's do it. And I was like, fine. So we clicked it, and then in auction, he went like, I forget. Mike, you were in the room. You probably don't remember either at this point, but he went super cheap, and I was like, yeah, I mean, screw it. I'll take him for that
It was
price.
like $9 or something, wasn't it?
It was ridiculously
Like,
low.
you should probably hit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was like,
so am I.
okay. At the same time, though, man, like, dude, Mostert's playing Carolina, who is allowing the second most points to running backs right now, outside of the Denver Broncos, who Miami has already played and embarrassed, which has totally skewed their numbers to the top of the list. So I think after Miami gets them, we might see Carolina at the top. Although I don't know, Denver's still pretty bad. So they're playing hella good right now. So I'm not gonna lie. But that being said, I'm on Mostert slightly, but I mean, to be honest, if you've got Mostert and Montgomery on your squad and you have to make a decision between both of these, you're probably just starting both of these guys. They're both in my top 10 easily. So I don't know if this is much of a decision at this point. These guys are just clear starts at this point.
The reason I put this in for a little bit of context, though, is because both of these guys you got a little bit later in drafts.
super
Like,
late.
they weren't your first running back that you drafted, so maybe you got like a CMC, and you only need to start 2. You know what I mean? And you're deciding between these two type of deals.
Yeah, no, that's rough. Like if you've got like a CMC and then like you waited and went Mostert and Montgomery like later in the draft. Yeah, good luck. I don't know what to tell you, but I mean, I guess it's Mostert. I mean, but like I think you're gonna be fine no matter what.
Fair enough. But
Yeah.
we'll move on to the next one here. This one hits home because man, I just love me some Derrick Henry, but he has been struggling this year. Davis, you taking Derrick Henry versus the Baltimore Ravens or DeAndre Swift against the Jets?
It's Swift. I don't like Swift. You know, I really don't. I came into the season not a fan of like the situation, and all it's proven to me is that it's the Lions are the problem. If you're under 220 pounds, they're never going to use you. You know, welcome to the world, DeAndre Smith, Amir Abdullah. It's all those guys, right? So yeah, give me Swift. He's been really crushing it, and short of being vultured on the goal line by Jalen Hurts, he's averaging 15 points a game. It's pretty gross. I don't think you can beat those numbers right now.
Yeah. I'm going Swift actually as well. So, or I don't. Yeah, sorry. I was reading something and actually didn't hear your answer. So I'm going Swift though. The Jets are allowing the 10th most points to running back so far on the season. Baltimore's been pretty stingy against the run. So, and again, it's weird because Henry's getting, out carried, out snapped at times with Tajay Spears. Like what? It doesn't make any sense to me. And it's like it's sometimes it happens in like the opposite game scripts that you would imagine. Sometimes it's when they're, it's when they're ahead. They're like, here, Tajay, you have the ball. It's like, no, that's Derrick Henry's turn. I don't get it.
I think it's a preservation play. Like, if we happen to make the playoffs, he's preserved kind of thing.
But it's like you guys need to win games. You guys are not good right now. Use your boy to get there first. Like,
yeah,
I talked about this in the usage article that I do every week. I talked about it this week. I think I talked about it last week. I'm going to talk about it continuously for this team because it doesn't make any damn sense. Derrick Henry, when he has the ball, still looks like a beast. He's still massive. People still can't tackle him. I'm sorry. Get this man the ball. But right now it's Swift. Like this is where you got to go.
He's 15 points a game is his average right now. Besides week 1 where he really didn't play, he's getting 15 a week. That is gross. I don't think you can not
Swift?
start him.
Yeah.
He's having a sneaky good year. In half PPR,
I was
he's
gonna
at
say
15.
he's been really good.
AJ, you going to go against the grain or are you making it a clean sweep?
No,
I
mean, I just won a signed jersey from the guy. Yeah, I'm gonna go against him.
Say he's definitely got to go with his Philly boy.
Definitely going Swift.
I wish I could have asked this question when he was a Lion. See if the answer changes.
Oh yeah, because they wouldn't use him. He'd be sitting next to Gibbs.
Yeah,
on the bench. He'd be on the bench with Gibbs, hanging out, handing the ball off to David Montgomery.
Who said something similar to that this offseason? Like Gibbs was going to see the Swift roll.
Yeah, everybody thought it was going to be good.
All right, now the fun part. We're going to move on to the receivers. Joe, you get to start us off. Hey, Davis, with this one, you get 3 options. You get to start 2, sit 1. Joe, Adam Thielen, red hot against the Dolphins. Devonta Smith, ice cold against the Jets. Or Christian Kirk, nice, right in the middle against the Colts. I mean, did I say Devonta Smith against the Colts? I meant the Jets.
No,
Jets,
you said Jets.
Okay.
I don't know what you said.
He said Jets.
I'm looking for
Read the ticker.
Yep, I gotcha. Well, yeah, for people that don't have the ticker because they're listening on Spotify or Apple or whatever, we actually should get it right. But anyway, I digress. I cannot find Devonta Smith for some stupid reason on my rankings right now.
That's probably because he had one catch.
Because he's sucked ass this year.
Correct.
Aside
that's
from
why
game
he's way down there. So
game 1 and game 2, I guess.
My decision is now easily that Devonta Smith. And yeah, that's kind of where I was leaning anyway. So that's perfect. So yeah, I mean the Jets just don't allow the Jets just do not allow receivers to score points. I mean 17.82 points averaged on the year. It is the second best outside of the Browns. So yeah, I'm like they've shut down everybody outside of Stephon Diggs and CeeDee Lamb, literally everybody. And so, I mean, look, maybe it's a Devonta Smith week, but it seems like from what's happening that the alpha on the team, so in this case, AJ Brown is probably going to get the targets. And so, and kind of figure things out if somebody is going to do it, but it may not be anybody. So, Smith is my sit.
All right, AJ, are you going to sit your boy?
I'm not. I think it's actually going to be the opposite. I think this is the week that they get Smith back involved, and he's. Jets
you
are
hope so since you drafted him over.
What's that?
You hope so since you drafted him ahead of me in our league.
Wow.
And I forget who I took right after him. Oh, Calvin Ridley. That's right.
No, you took Ridley first.
Nope.
I will do some research on that.
I'm doing it right now. Don't worry about it. I got you.
But yeah,
answer the question.
Sorry, I'm doing other stuff. Yeah, I think this is going to be a week for Smith. I'm sitting Kirk out of the three. I think Smith needs to get back into the passing game. He's just too good to be this bad in a sense. Thielen, I mean, he's been blowing up. Obviously, he's got some mojo going on with Bryce Young, and Miami can be had in the passing game. So I'm leaning on those two guys. Davis?
I would like if you didn't sugarcoat our bad defense in Miami. Our secondary is not good. All right, don't sugarcoat it. It's not good. Xavier Howard, big name, gives up a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns. It's not a good time. I'm having a hard time here with the Devonta Smith Kirk situation. Devonta Smith, great talent, but he suffered. Sorry, it's not really a suffer, I suppose, but the Eagles just have too much stuff.
Last year, a lot of mouths.
There's two great receivers,
high quality team.
Great tight end, a running back that's plowing through, right, and is a good receiver overall. Like, I do think this is a get right game for Devonta Smith, because I do think AJ Brown is shadowable. It just depends. You have to have an elite corner to do it. You can't give him the Steelers and like the Cardinals and these like random guys and expect them to cover AJ Brown. It's just not doable. But I think you would give them Garrett Wilson. Sorry, not Garrett Wilson, but CJ. Freaking name. I was gonna say that's the
Sauce Gardner.
Sauce Gardner. I was gonna say CJ Gardner, but that's the wrong Gardner. But if you give him Sauce Gardner and a safety, I do think they're gonna shut him. And I think Devonta Smith gets right, but maybe no touchdown. He's got one red zone look, I think, almost every single game this year. And he dropped a few. But I think that's where I think Kirk wins. Because Christian Kirk is that guy for Trevor Lawrence, and I think the touchdown separates him. So I will bench Devonta Smith just because I think Kirk has a shot at a TD. I mean, like every time they get to the end zone in the past, and even recently, when things look kind of scary, like Christian Kirk is like his blanket. He's his safety blanket out there, and he just gets it.
Christian Kirk has one red zone target, end zone target on the whole year. But
I mean,
maybe red zone is different, but end zone target on the year. But yeah, still, I agree with you, man. The amount of volume that Kirk is getting outside of week one is you cannot sit this guy right now.
And he's a bit more polished than like Zay. Zay, as good as he is, it just doesn't look as good.
And Zay's been just injured off and on constantly. And so
I do think Christian takes that cake slightly.
Yeah,
we gotta move on here.
Quick pause. I took Devonta at the 210.
I saw.
You took Waddle at 211. Then you backed that with Ridley, and then I took Keenan Allen. So
a good trade. Good trade out. You got Keenan Allen. That's better than all three of
I
those
was
guys.
gonna say, I think
Exactly. I
the
was like,
fact that you got Keenan Allen kind of wins that for you.
Still thinking you won.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Although I am 5-0 in this league, so you can suck it.
Not my fault. Everybody else.
That's our cue to move on.
Yes.
5-0 with the most points too. So no, it's not just everybody else sucks. It's I have the most points.
Oh, I didn't say everybody else sucks. I said nobody else is paying attention. It's different.
Okay. I don't know about that.
Moving on.
All right. So, man, I believe Davis is up.
All snaps. So
Sure.
I get what? It says Garrett Wilson versus the Eagles. DeAndre
Yes,
Hopkins
sir.
versus the Ravens. Terry McLaurin versus Atlanta. Man, this is tough. I think I start DeAndre Hopkins, and I probably, this is sound funny, start Garrett Wilson over the Eagles, and I bench Terry McLaurin. The Falcons' defense is stout. They are kind of scary. I mean, and they play their football games are short. They run that ball with 30 something times per game. Desmond Ridder can even run the ball. You throw in the fact that the Commanders technically want to throw the ball, try to run the ball more too. They just happen to throw lately because they've been playing from behind. This game can be over fast. Like, it can be over ridiculously fast, and then you're not getting that those extra plays that these other two games might have.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Terry McLaurin is my sit. It's close between him and Wilson. I know, we all get scared off with Zach, so that's kind of the reason why Garrett Wilson is down in his range. But I mean, AJ, you cannot disagree. This Philly secondary has been
not good.
just abused this season. So
Shout out to Jamie for pointing that out, by the way.
Big name.
And Garrett Wilson has played decently well, even with, especially the last couple of weeks. Like they've started to figure things out, it feels like. So maybe there's a sign of hope, right?
Yeah, I mean, Slay and Bradbury are another year older. I mean, they're still talented D-backs, but they've been playing Bradbury in the slot too because of injuries. So that's kind of messed with things a little bit, I feel like. But I do like Wilson. As much as I hate Tannehill, I think D-Hop's going to have a better game against Baltimore than what McLaurin's going to have in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Atlanta's secondary is just young, fast, solid. So I'm going Wilson, Hopkins.
I think
All
we
right.
have a question. Mike, you want to put it up on the board?
Yes, sir.
So we got Ramondre Stevenson, Deebo Samuel, Terry McLaurin, Jeff or Zach Moss. Jeff?
I want to say Jeff Wilson coming off IR.
I'm guessing no, not him.
One.
Need one running back and one flex. So, man, my flex is Deebo. I don't think anybody would disagree with that.
Not me.
Running back,
Yeah, I'd go with that for the flex.
man, I want to believe that
It is
Zach
Jeff
Moss
Wilson.
is going to get more, but I still got to go back to Stevenson because, like, he just, man, what if they just turn around and just hand this ball off 65% of the time to Jonathan Taylor finally? Like, oh, you had your game to warm up, and that's. I roll Stevenson. I don't know. I know Davis, you're a Zach Moss fan, it feels like, and I know Stevenson has sucked, man. I get it. And Zach Moss has been awesome. I just don't know if I can pull the trigger on Zach Moss over Stevenson right now. That's super close though, man. They are like back to back to me in my rankings. They really are. Actually, it's funny. I got Stevenson, Jonathan Taylor, Zach Moss, back. Like 1, 2, 3. That's what they are. 20, 22, 23, 24 right now. It's half PPR, but and if I think if you add in full PPR, I think Stevenson gets a slight boost, but even that doesn't really work anymore because man, Mac Jones has been atrocious. So who knows?
I guess
my
question would be is would you rank Tyler Algier ahead of Stevenson right now?
No.
You wouldn't?
I wouldn't.
No.
So I consider Zach Moss to probably be that Tyler Algier type of guy, running some games over 10, 15 touches, rushing attempts, and a couple receptions. But the only difference is averaging better yards. Algier has averaged basically no yards per game this per carry this year, but Zach Moss is averaging like 4.2 or something like that.
Yeah. No, I get it.
so
Zach Moss has been a much more productive player, and he has been his whole career when he's actually been healthy, which is weird.
I don't know. You feel like a plotter to me, like an even slower plotter than usual. But I just really don't think
I think he has been, but this year is different to me with him.
Seems better. Actually seems good.
He's much better this year than what we've seen out of him. And I mean, I think it took this weird, stupid JT situation for people to realize it because he finally got like a full-on opportunity. Once he was healthy. If he was healthy week 1, he would have been the starter, no-brainer, but he wasn't, so Deion Jackson got it. I would, me personally, I would go with Moss.
Yeah. Debo Moss for me, for sure.
Yeah.
I lean Stevenson. I still lean the talent a little bit, but it is super close. I get it. Yeah. Jamie's saying I've got Stevenson at 20 and Moss at 24. You're right. Yeah. That's weird though. That's actually not what I posted. I don't know what the hell Fantasy Pros puts up sometimes. That's not on my spreadsheet. It's literally Stevenson 22, RB 22, Jonathan Taylor at 23, and Zach Moss at 24. Are you looking at my PPR ones? Because these are half PPR. I focus more on the half PPR for this show, Jamie. But anyway, we do have a couple more questions here. Let's do one, and then we'll do the last receiver question. We'll do a couple more, then do the tight ends and move on. So Blue Crew, if you need to get rid of one, who is it, Debo or Ayuk? I'm hoping you can sit. I'm not getting rid of either one of these guys.
If they're both on your team, you kind of have to get rid of them, don't you? Can't
well, if you're trading them, I'm not just dropping them, but I'm trying to keep Ayuk in a PPR league.
I would keep Ayuk
in this case
over Debo.
I love Debo.
I do not.
He's fun to watch, but
runs his mouth too much.
Yeah,
him and Arcia are good buddies now.
Davis, you agree? Disagree?
Oh no, I don't disagree with you guys at all.
Okay. All right. So last question, Mike. Then.
I mean, it's the last wide receiver question.
All right, last wide receiver. Sorry, we got one tight end question after this.
Joe, you starting Tyler Lockett against the Bengals? KJ Osborn with the Jefferson injury against the Bears, or Drake London against the Commanders? Your Commanders.
So we got Lockett. We got Osborn. I'm trying to find these guys. And then we got Drake London. Ooh, yeah. These guys are close. All in that 30-ish range. These guys are all like flex receivers for me, honestly.
Yeah.
I want to start Osborn just because of the upside with him. As AJ was mentioning earlier in the show, like you don't really know if it's going to be Osborn or Jamie. You don't really know if Osborn or if Addison is going to like just explode and everybody's going, oh, he's gonna be the new JJ. No, that's not gonna happen. But I think Osborn and Addison are gonna split a lot of that work, and it's Osborn's gonna be very serviceable here for a while. I'm going Lockett and Osborn though. Like I love London's talent. I really do. I drafted him in a lot of spots. I really thought that he would just get peppered with, even if Ritter only threw the ball 25 times, I thought 12 of them would go to London every game, right? Like that kind of thing, right? But now with the addition of Jonnu Smith, it's just destroyed London's value to where he is like a touchdown upside receiver. It sucks. And so, yeah, London's seen games where he's had 8 or so, he's had 2 games with 8 and 9 and 3 games, sorry, 8, 6, 7, and 1 target. But like his catchable targets, 3, 4, and then like the 2 games, 6 and 6. Like the first week is just throw it out the window. It was 1 target, 1 catchable target, didn't catch it, doesn't matter. But like the fact that like he's just not seeing accurate throws his way on the regular, he's my sit even against a Commander's defense that has been pretty susceptible, against everything.
Yeah. Oof. This one is.
Again, I think
tough
game
for
script
me.
could go in Lockett's favor a little bit too, because I think since he's going to get up big and maybe they don't get up big, it just could be like a shootout type game, right? To where they could just go back and forth.
Yeah, and when I did the depth chart updates earlier, DK was questionable. Haven't checked it recently. I don't know. There was like 8 guys that I marked as questionable or something, and then they all like must have practiced today or something because it was all cleared out. I'm like, damn it. So if DK somehow ends up, being limited, that gives a small boost to Lockett. But yeah, I think I'm gonna lean him and Osborn too. I mean, I'm hoping for London to finally break out and do something. I feel like because I'm probably starting him in one of my leagues, though he's not. So I'm gonna lean the other two.
Boo, you guys are no fun. I'm going London.
Yeah, so it's sit 1, so it's start 2, sit 1.
I'm going London for my one of those guys, and I'm going Osborn for my other. I do agree with Joe that Osborn does move a step up. He does have the snap count. They are going to be down a guy. It's Chicago. Every narrative we want to use. But I do think that London is just a really good player, right?
I think he is too. I just think game script and
I'm not no way you guys saying they're not
offensive game system. The offensive.
No, I think he sucks. Okay, he sucks.
But these kind of receivers that are just a little too, these like bigger good guys, I think they really dominate in like these Commander games. Like I think about the Commanders and what their cornerback has been giving up all year long, all the corners. I just think London gets it. I think Ritter threw a little bit more this week. I'm hoping it's a trend that continues, that they try to throw a little bit more. And I think that if there's a benefactor, if there is going to be one on this team, it's likely going to be London. I think they play against a sloppy secondary.
They've given up some pretty monster games the last couple of weeks. Obviously, AJ Brown and then DJ Moore 2 weeks in a row. Like
the Commanders just like not good at that second. That corner is too twitchy. He's biting on everything.
He bites on everything, and the safety can't recover because they're bringing him down to block.
He cannot. I still don't think he's recovered from the taunting penalty that Brown got called for a couple weeks ago.
So honestly, early on in the game last week, I understood like the first blow by DJ Moore, but then the second one, and then the third one, it was like
they weren't even blow bys. They were like he runs a curl.
But what I mean is like, early in the game, like the
3-step hook.
The concept was to bring the safeties down to stop Justin Fields from running. I understood that, right? But once they did it once, okay, fine. They did it twice. All right. Now we need to stop that. and they
Yeah.
didn't. They let him
Fool
do
me
it
once,
again.
shame on me.
They let him
Fool
do
me
it
twice.
again.
Shit,
And it was
I
just
did
like,
it again.
holy crap. Okay. That was embarrassing. So yeah. Anyway.
And I stand by my Kenneth Walker will run every touchdown in. So unless like Lockett's burning one off, I think like Walker just walks every touchdown. So I want to give it to the guys that I think they have red zone upside. That's Osborn or London.
Okay.
Do you want to move on to the tight end, or do you want to
Oh
answer
yeah,
some questions?
I'm sure we got questions, man. I'm losing them in the chat, unfortunately. Where are they? I know there's more. Sorry, guys, I'm totally losing them. Mike, if you know where they are, just throw them up on the screen.
Oh, I'm trying to.
I know I'm trying to find.
one.
There's a lot of conversation.
Oh, here
I
we
love
go.
it, guys. But
Denzel's got
Denzel.
one.
Yep.
oh, yeah, how do you feel about starting Jordan Mason or any G? What?
Ooh, let me get this one. Let me get
Is this
this one.
for real?
Jordan Mason, baby. It's Mason season. I love Jordan Mason. I tell people all the time. I drafted so much Jordan Mason in like best ball and just like deep leagues all day because Elijah Mitchell ain't gonna see the field.
Even like a 20-team league, bro. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm in a 32 man. I have all the Masons. Jordan Mason,
Oh
baby.
my
Sign me
God.
up.
I mean,
32 with IDP.
No IDPs, luckily. Smaller rosters
No?
overall, but Jordan Mason all day.
Yeah, there we go, Jamie. Look at my half PPR rankings. Those guarantee those are the more accurate ones for me. That's what I based the show off of, by the way. So that's why that's where the debate has come from between us. So I get it though. But anyway,
There was one other one, but it was Jamie asking about your rankings. Speaking of Chicago, just basically, if Roshan practices tomorrow, he's got him at RB18. Where are you ranking him this week? And tell me why he isn't a top 19 RB the following week.
if Roshan practices tomorrow, I'm RB18 this week. Man, I don't even know. I don't know where I would throw him in.
If he practices tomorrow, then he's gonna start.
He'll probably play. He'll start.
Herbert's doubtful.
Herbert's out.
Oh, he is. He is. See again, another freaking change.
I don't.
Why do I even?
Well,
do
I
these
just no. He's done. He's not playing right now. I don't think he's like officially out, but
well, then okay.
I think a lot of people know he's not playing. Honestly, man, I would throw him around like the Damian Pierce, Brian Robinson range ish of my ranking. So like that kind of that 20-ish, that 18, 19, 20 range. I agree with that. Yeah, I don't know who they play next week, so I don't look to next week. So sorry. I'm not looking that far ahead. There too many factors that come into play to tell me to have me tell you where he would be ranked in week 7. So
Minnesota, then Vegas.
Who?
Chicago plays Minnesota and Vegas, both home games.
Week 7?
Week 7 is Vegas.
Vegas, baby.
I mean, Vegas.
I love that.
Been pretty decent actually against the run. Sometimes they aren't as bad as people think, but it all depends on which team shows up there. But all right, let's do this tight end question and finish this out.
Whoa! Don't be so eager about tight ends; they suck. But yeah,
trying to get to our silly string pick.
I know. AJ, you get to finish this off here by starting us off. Dallas Goedert off a big week against the Jets, or the steady Cole Kmet. And just to give a little context here, Dallas Goedert has 1 top 10 finish this year. Obviously, it was last week. Cole Kmet 3 so far this year.
Let's say AJ has to answer this one first.
Just wanted to give you a little context to help you out, bud.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to tell me how bad Goddard's been. I already know that. I think he'll be okay, but Oh, what the fuck, dude?
Don't answer the
Are
question.
you
gonna
looking at his
go-
week 1 through 4?
Not good.
No, sorry.
I just thought
I'm
that
gonna
was
go
a
with,
what the fuck.
I'm gonna go with Kmet on this one, honestly. I think this is a Smith game and a Swift game. And then Jalen's just gonna do the rest. So
All right, Davis, who you got?
Oh man.
Yeah, I know. Tight ends suck. They really do.
No, I don't. I don't hate the tight ends. I really like Goedert a ton, and he was one of my favorite tight ends to draft this year. I thought he was a very good value. But I'm gonna go down and say Cole Kmet just because I think the matchups are easier. I think Cole Kmet's the 2 on this team. He's the 2. If the run game is in shambles, I think you can count on Cole Kmet to be I hate to say this, more consistent than Dallas Goedert. I think Dallas Goedert's gonna be like scripted into certain games.
yeah.
Doesn't make him better, but Cole Kmet's a multi-million paid tight end right now too. So, and he's been pretty clutch for a passing Justin Fields.
Man, I've got the guys back to back. Goddard's higher in my rankings, but if you put a gun to my head, I'm picking Kmet for the same reasons as you guys. It's touchdown upside. Goddard has one good game. I mean, like
Yeah.
and it was last week, and it was the game where they were like, we're gonna give Goddard the ball and nobody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so it's like, okay.
Hey,
it was tight
guy
end. It was
over there.
Laporta,
We haven't
Kittle,
done much
Goedert.
for you yet, so we apologize, but we want you to know we're thinking of you.
I mean, look, I'll be honest. Like I even said it in the usage article. Like I was, I might be eating crow a little bit on the Bears offense after the first few weeks where I was like, aha, I told you so. And now I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not telling you so. Because the Bears are firing right now, man. Like their defense still sucks. They're gonna lose a lot more. They're gonna lose a lot more games, but their offense is clicking right now. Got rid of Chase Claypool, and all of a sudden they're like, ha, we're free. And they're good again. We have no idea what happened. But anyway. Yeah, so
JV.
Blue Crew. I think we did answer this already.
Did
Yeah,
answer it.
if you're trading away one, it is going to absolutely be
Be
Debo.
Debo.
Trade away Debo if you can.
JB
Key
did
value,
ask.
especially in PPR. That's what we
No.
want to do.
Everybody.
Did anyone?
won
No,
last
we
week.
didn't, man. Yeah, Jamie, you got lucky as hell, man. But everybody else won pretty easily. So we are gonna get to these. So our silly string picks of the week. These are fun. So for those of you who are new to the show, and this is honestly a pretty new segment, so I'll just explain it again. What we do is we use half PPR projections. I don't really care if you use PPR, just announce that so that we know on social media. But we use half PPR projections. We use the projections on the Fantasy Six Pack that you can go check out as an all access member as of Thursday night. And then we pick if they're going to go over or under that projection. And if we are wrong, we get silly stringed. We record it. We post it on social media. We'll show the video here on live next week or the next week on the show. And it's all in good fun. So please join us and post your picks with us on social media. Or if you want to do it live on air with us, as Jamie did last week, then we can, say yours here, and it'll be a good time. So Dylan, what's up, man?
Yeah, welcome.
Welcome to the Fantasy Six Pack family, man. We appreciate you. We will answer your question here. So
questions on the Discord.
we do that too. But you can throw in a question here if you want to.
There. But yeah, if you got something, we'll hit it before the end of the show here.
Yeah, let's jump into these picks here real quick while we wait for Dylan's question. So Davis, you are the guest of the night. So who are you picking? And what's the projection?
Oh man, I wish I had my other underdog shirt because this guy also got me another underdog shirt. It is Michael Thomas, man. Half PPR. I'm gonna go over. He's at 9.6 for I'm going to say he's going to go over. I need him to go over because I have a bet against another friend of mine. So either I lose this bet and I get silly strings, I might as well go all in. It's Michael Thomas over 9.64. I think he's probably going to get his first touchdown.
Love it. He has not gone over 10 yet, so we'll see. All right. Voice in the sky, Mike LaPlante. What do you got, man? You got one? Where'd he go? Did he run away? All right, never mind.
Yeah.
AJ.
Yeah, I had to unmute myself. I pulled it.
All right, Mike.
I pulled an AJ.
No, mine was planned.
Yeah, no, you're gonna have to. I apologize for that one.
Sort of.
Sure, yours was. It's always planned. I was teeter-tottering between two guys because I told you before the show I wanted to lean KJ Osborn. I think it's the low-hanging fruit, but I want to live life on the wild side this week. I'm gonna go Chris Godwin above 11.03 half PPR points.
You already picked Godwin. Pick someone else.
11 point how many?
You already picked Godwin. Pick someone else.
No, I didn't.
No, we didn't. That was
I never picked Godwin. That was JJ.
That was our.
That was JJ.
It was JJ. Yep. 11 point how many? How many points, Mike?
03.
03. Okay. All right. Let's do this question
11.03.
real quick for Dylan. So he gave us his team, but the question is, oh wait, no, that's not it. No. All right. So it's all mixed in here. So 12 team redraft full PPR traded D-Hop for Mixon straight up to Justin Jefferson owner. Good trade. All right. So it's a lot. So I'm gonna have to pull this up on the big screen to read the whole thing because it is a lot. So 12 team redraft full PPR traded Hopkins for Mixon straight up to the Justin Jefferson owner. Good trade. My running back depths. Running back depth. I mean, yeah, the fact that you got Mixon, I'm okay with that because you still have Diggs and Ayuk and Hollywood's been awesome. And Tom, yeah, I'm totally fine with that trade.
I think it's a great trade.
Yeah, I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah, you straight up
It's
needed
a big upgrade, actually.
Cook.
So I like it.
Yeah,
good job, man.
I'm in on it.
All right, AJ, you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
He had one last question, guys. He had
Hockenson,
Hockenson and Waller for Pickens.
Is somebody
did a trade. Does he think it's fair? I'm assuming this is a veto question. I think it's fair. Hockenson and Hockenson for Waller and Pickens. That's a fair trade.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I don't veto something like that. That's fine. I mean, I agree with it, but it's fine. AJ.
All right, so I changed my pick.
Of course you did.
I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is, in a sense, and I'm gonna go with Garrett Wilson over 10.47 points.
Okay.
Let's see if the Eagles secondary shows up.
And
why not?
All right. So it's funny that Dylan's asking about D-Hop, and I'm guessing he's hoping I'm right on this one big time because I'm going D-Hop under 11.8 half PPR points this week. Again, traveling across the ocean, playing Baltimore.
Oh, that's right. That is.
I don't like it. So, D-Hop just had, his best game of the season with the Titans. And I get the volume has been there. I've talked about it endlessly in the usage article every single week that the usage has been there for him, but it has been good usage, unfortunately. And Mike, somebody I've been like, it's poor target. Targets can be there, but they got to be good targets. And we talked about that a lot with Desmond Ridder and things like that in the offseason. So that is my pick. So we will post those on social media tomorrow once I post all the links to the show. But that is what we got. So What's your CeeDee Lamb half-point prediction? Oh, anybody got that? I think I closed my.
I got it. Hold on.
Do you have it open?
I do. CD is.
Yeah, sorry, I don't.
They're
have
the
everything
Monday
open.
night game. It's not there.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
it's
them,
not.
it's them
No,
against the Chargers.
CeeDee Lamb's 13.7.
That's exactly the same numbers I have on my end. I have him at
What?
like
Why is it
7
not
catches
on?
for 80.
Yeah,
something
don't worry
yards.
about it. I got another place to grab stuff. I gotta get Keith to fix that and pull different stuff. So 13.7 is the projection, Jamie.
All right.
Big D, Davis, start T, Higgins, or Jordan Addison.
Well,
I mean, Higgins may not even play, so the decision might be made for you. But even if he does play, I kind of think you go Addison at that point. Like, I mean, we're talking like possibly.
That's what I put in the comments. If Higgins is 100%, which I don't think he's going to be, then sure, I'd ride with him.
Can I take Flowers again? Yeah. What's his?
No, take someone new.
Zay Flowers 10.7. I mean, hey, it's all on you, man. 10.7. You want it? Over under.
Have some
Tennessee's pass defense is bad, but Baltimore's pass offense is also bad. So
He wants to live on the edge too. He
pick
he
a poison.
won
I
by
like it. I
0.2.
like it. He wants to.
I also like to live dangerously.
So, all right, we'll get your pick after the show, Jamie. We got to close things out here, but Davis, thank you for joining us, man. Let us know where we can find your stuff. I know I think you're taking a little bit of a break this season. You got a lot of stuff going on, but anything you got going on, right now, or what we can look forward to from you.
I mean, I still do the Fantasy Edge on Mondays. I've been a sub literally almost every single week now, which has been pretty cool. So I do the Fantasy Edge podcast.
Permanent.
So it sounds permanent for the Fantasy Six Pack. I fill in for either Richard or Dennis right now. So I've been doing both, and I've also just been a third guy too. They've been enjoying it, so I've been doing that. And then anytime you guys need to fill in for something else, I'm kind of the floater now. I'm the flex. There we go.
You're the flex boy. Nice.
Flex.
So how come you didn't step in for the start sit when Dennis had to sub out?
Oh, they didn't tell me.
Check Slack, man.
Ping me enough. Ping me enough.
What are you talking
Put on
about?
those notifications, AJ.
It's fine.
I'm already covering the show, man.
I didn't see it either.
I had to cover Dennis's
Actually,
show
I did.
time.
I was like, oh,
both of you.
maybe I could jump in and do this.
Well, Davis, man, I look
got it.
forward to having you on again soon. I always like talking to you, man. So, but anyway, have a good night, man, and we'll do it again soon.
All right, man. Take care.
Peace. All righty, man. So, I mean, I think this game is over. I don't know. They're about to kick a field goal to go up 19. Although they're gonna make it, I don't know. 2 minutes left.
I don't know. I haven't watched a single second of it.
So 19-8 with 1:55 left after the kickoff. It'll be like a minute. Yeah, I mean, this game's over, but what an ugly game, man. Like people who started the Chiefs, I'll be honest, man. The Chiefs running backs were highly ranked. I had Pacheco at 12, man, and that's not working. I mean, like
16
the Broncos,
carries, 62,
the Broncos have been
receptions,
atrocious all year.
36 yards.
Not
Sky
good.
Moore has
I mean, they only scored one touchdown.
Kelsey, shocker, 9 for 9, 124 yards.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm going against Kelsey in King Classic. So
yeah, I should have not started Sky Moore, but my other options were Brandon Powell.
Oof.
And
brutal week, man.
That's it.
Thanks, Jamie, man. Appreciate you having on, man.
Thanks.
I took the over on this game at 37.5. Oh, how was the over? Oh God, yeah, so bad. I mean, with Denver's defense being as bad as it has, this has to worry Chiefs fans.
Of course,
honestly,
Tony has a touchdown.
Thoughts on Hawkinson? What's your projections for him? The projections we've got running for him right now. So half PPR is 11.8. Full PPR. Trying to find the button here. Hang on. Too many things. Oh, yeah. 14.9. So honestly, I kind of AJ, I'm kind of with you, man. I kind of think Hawk might just crush this week.
Yeah. I
So.
think he's going to be the one to benefit the most. But like I said earlier, I think this is Addison's chance to really.
Oh, of course, and
show
he's
what
shown
he
he's
can do.
been the guy.
Yeah.
The one that he wants to. That Cousins wants to look at for that deep route, that deep ball, that home run ball. That's not Osborn's game. Osborn's a chain mover. So it's gonna be Hawk and Addison that's gonna get the chunks. Osborn's gonna get dink dunk, and he's gonna be fine. But that's what it is. So Big D David, man, you want to you want to jump in on the over under bet with us, the silly strings? Look me up on Twitter, man, at F6P_Joe, and tell us if you want to over under on that, and we'll have some fun with it, man. So, all right, guys, that's it for us. So we're gonna close it out. This game is over. Looks like somebody fumbled the ball. Holy crap, they did. P. Ryan just fumbled the ball. Kansas City got it back. This game is over. So so are we. So we're gonna close it out. See you all next week.
All right, go Phils.
That's it. Bye.